Identifying obstacles. Now that we have set the stage for overcoming obstacles, we can dig into how to turn them into success. As with any other challenge that may come your way, the first step to overcoming your obstacle is to identify it. To put it another way, you need to know what the obstacle is and classify it. Identifying the obstacle will make you more aware of the positives, negatives, your own biases, and what you need to do to overcome it. If you don't identify your obstacle, it will be impossible to come up with action steps to follow. Though there are countless obstacles, many could be classified into larger groups, such as facing the unknown or limited finances. In this chapter, we are going to take a look at the most common classifications for obstacles. You may notice that the obstacle in front of you is a mixture of more than one category. That is entirely normal. Let's take a look at what these common obstacle types are. Common obstacle types. Facing the unknown. One of the most general obstacle types is facing the unknown. Facing the unknown is whenever you find yourself in a situation that is unfamiliar territory. Whenever you move, get a new job, or talk to a new person, you could find yourself facing the unknown. This obstacle will be incredibly difficult for those with anxiety, introverted personalities, and low self-esteem. That's because it takes a lot of courage and confidence to overcome this obstacle and make the unfamiliar familiar. The best way to overcome this obstacle is to remind yourself that everyone has been in a similar situation before, and most people are not going to judge you. Additionally, work on your self-esteem to become more trusting of yourself and your ability to act in the unknown. Pressure to be someone other than yourself. Another obstacle you may face is pressure to be someone other than yourself. This pressure can come from family, friends, or society. Some people struggle with this obstacle more than others. Women especially face this obstacle, but men do as well. To overcome this obstacle, you need to know where to draw the line between yourself and others. What are your values? What do you think of yourself? What do you want out of life? Asking these sorts of questions will clarify where you end, and other people begin. To face this obstacle, you need to work on boundary setting. Once you draw the line and create a harsh boundary between yourself and others, you have to have the courage and willingness to follow through. You might need to work on your self-confidence and self-esteem to uphold the boundaries. Limited finances. Limited finances are an incredibly difficult obstacle. In many situations, limited finances are due to something outside of your control. Losing a job, welcoming a new member to the family, an unexpected accident, and more can all lead to a limited financial obstacle. Unlike the last two obstacles, this one will require much more tangible and definitive action steps. This includes creating a budget, knowing how much more money you need to make, and more. It may also require you to look for a new job or ask for a spouse to help financially. Along with the obvious issues that come with limited finances, such as not paying a bill, there will also be other obstacles that you have to face, such as strained relationships, facing the unknown, and more. Relationship problems. Relationships are one of the most frequent areas for obstacles. As humans, we are all entitled to our thoughts and actions, but we often feel that everyone should fall in line with our own thoughts. As a result, a lot of tension can be created, and it is more difficult to overcome these obstacles since it involves another fully autonomous person. Often, an obstacle in a relationship is a very specific event or pattern. To identify the obstacle, you need to talk with the other person to determine their side of the story. Work with the other person to create action steps to eliminate the obstacle in the future. Sometimes, the obstacle may be irreconcilable. For example, your partner may not want children while you do. Often, the only strategy for overcoming this obstacle is separating and finding a new partner with the same goal and desire for children as you. You can also have obstacles relating to problems with your friends, parents, or children, not just your romantic partner. Approach their resolution in the same manner. What to do after identifying the obstacle? Once you identify the obstacle, it is important to create action steps that are directly related to the problem at hand. Action steps give you something tangible to do to overcome the obstacle. Your action steps should not be too lofty, but they should instead be more like mini goals. We will talk more about this in the next chapter. In addition to action steps, you may need to reflect on yourself. Certain obstacles will take a large toll on your emotional and mental well-being. Reflect on yourself and pay attention to your emotions. Many people are tempted to put their emotions aside to overcome the obstacle quickly. Completely ignoring your emotions is just as dangerous as getting swept away by them. Consider your emotions and use them as directions for learning. Depending on where you stand emotionally, you might want to consult in a self-help book or see a therapist to work through the issues. More times than you would think, the real obstacle lies between your ears, not in the real world. Take the time to reflect upon yourself, your goals, and your desires to come to a firm understanding of where you stand. Recap. The first step to overcoming the obstacle is to identify the exact problem. You can do this by breaking up the obstacle into categories, which will help the obstacle to seem more tangible in your mind. From there, create action steps and touch back into your emotions to pursue a resolution actively.